Hello, guys. Welcome to the live lab session powered by Google Skills and co-powered by Qwiklabs. Okay, so I'm going to share you my entire screen and hope it is visible enough. Okay, so let's start. I have already started this meeting, the Google uh, labs session. Okay. And in this lab session, we are going to cover, okay. So I have opened the incognito tab here and I have started my lab sessions from the Google skill. Okay. So let's try to cover this particular working with data in AppSheet. That is the title of this particular lab session. Okay. So in this particular lab sessions, we first need to open AppSheet, appsheet.com. And for the appsheet.com, we need to sign in this incognito tab with Google and Qwiklabs. Qwiklabs is a tool, a company powered by uh, Google, which is giving us these temporary credentials. So this is the temporary email. So it's that automated layers. It's a Google Cloud tool, the Qwiklab, and it generates these type of passwords for us. Okay, so I can just log into this and I say I understand their policy, and yeah, I will say continue. I'll say allow, and now I have logged into a business account, right? And this business account contains no apps at all because it's a newly freshly created account based upon the automations created cleverly by the Qwiklabs. Okay, so let's start. In this particular sessions, it is a 1 hour and 30-minute session, and we have to get 100 out of 100. That's our target. Okay. And we have already spent 9 minutes while I was doing the setup for this live session. But yeah, let's see. I cannot go shorter than this because the link is not mobile friendly. So I have to adjust my screen size at this point. Okay. So as we see, this lab has a few tasks. Task one is to create an app, then update table configs, then customize the app views using formulas and expressions, use AppSheet column types, use data slices, and use constraints as well. So let's see the overview. It says in this lab, we are going to practice data slices, initial values, app column formulas, expression and functions, column types, column constraints, etc. The objective is going to be setting up the account, logging in with the like loading the AppSheet UI. That's fine. Preview the app functionality in the live preview feature of the AppSheet UI. Now we are going to do that. Implement the data related features. Yes. Building app column formulas with expressions and AppSheet's built-in functions. Yeah, that's we are going to do. And use some of the change and content AppSheet column types. Okay, we are going to do that. Use column constraints as well. Okay, now we see setup and requirement. So for the setup and requirement, I just hit the start lab button. So that's why that counter started and it gave me, or it displayed me these cloud credentials, right? And I have already logged in and I say allow, and I say agree. Okay. So now let's see what is our first task. Our first task is to create an inventory manager app and select data. To create an app, in the AppSheet UI, click create app, start with existing data. So I'm going to click create, and there are multiple ways to create an AppSheet app where I'm going to use start with existing data. Okay. So in start with existing data, I believe it would have already have some sheets in my Google Drive. So I can just do sheets dot google.com, and I believe there is already a sheet named products. Yeah, that's what it says. Okay, so now it's a new sheets logo. It's just the second day after the update. Now let's name the app, which should be inventory manager, because that's how AppSheet is going to find what's going on. Inventory manager. And the category will be the inventory management. So I'm going to pick inventory management, and I hit create, and I'll pick Google Sheets as my data source. Now it's the classic Google Drive selections window. And here I'm going to pick products as my sheet, right? And I say select. Now it's loading, and it will redirect us to the newly created app and their customized window. Okay. Yeah, this is the customized window, and I'll say, okay, let me customize the app. Uh, let's see which editor it is following. So it's the new editor, but sometimes you might be landing on this classic editor as well. But as I know that the newer version is much more efficient, so I will be using the advanced editor right now. Okay, so the first step is done. I'm gonna hit check my progress, and it will say done. So now I have got 25 marks out of 100. Let's see the task two. Update the table config. Okay, so what we need to do, AppSheet has created your app, that's fine. And we need to change the default config. So tables are part of data tab, and I see one table here, that is product. And if I see the configurations of this table, and it is like all the products table columns are here, only the unique ID's initial value, and yeah, that's it. So now let's see what it is asking me to do. Add other tables to your app. Oh, it says add other tables to the app. So right now, if I open this product sheet, there are multiple tables, I believe. Yes, there are multiple tables. Okay. So there are security limitations, which we already know that there are many security limitations because it's powered by Google Cloud, right? QuickLab session. So it says products panel view source, and we need to add product category. And okay. And in the left navbar, okay, add the data dialog, Google Sheet, fix, and we say product categories and add tables, shopping reviews, repeat for shipping, receiving, and suppliers as well. Okay, so first thing it is telling us to do is add the product categories. Second thing is add the shippings as well, and then add receiving as well. So I'm back in the app sheet. I will hit this little add button, and there are multiple suggestion it is giving me. So I'm gonna pick product category for now. That is one thing. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat that for shipping. And then I'm going to do the same for receiving and suppliers as well. So I'm doing it for receiving. Just to tell you that in some rare cases, if you don't find the suggestion here, try to reload the app. But if it still doesn't appear, just hit the Google Sheets here, and then you will be able to pick again the spreadsheet, which you want to pick. Right now, it's the product. And then you can just pick what you wanted. Okay. So let's say I right now want the suppliers as well. So I'm just moving it and I'm adding suppliers. Okay, that's great. We have done the heavy lifting. Now let's see in the update column what we need to do. So in the update column configurations of the product table, there are few things we need to do. On the products, we need to edit the product category column and mark it as type reference, and source table should be category. Okay, so right now if I see the products is a type text, and let me show you what it means. Okay, so right now whenever I'm in product tab and I want to add a product, the category is just a text, right? But I don't want that. I want this product category to be powered by these categories, the predefined categories with the images, right? So for that, what I need to do is I'll edit the product category. I will mark it as ref. Ref means reference table, reference kind of column. And if I am marking it as reference, then I need to define that where it is referring to. So I need to define it as it's referring to product category. Okay. And that's it. So once I have done this change, now whenever I try to create a new product in here, it's now powering the product category drop down with the images and the text, which looks really good. Okay. So we have done this thing till this point. Okay. Now let's do sixth one, which says supplier ID column definitions. Okay. So there is the supplier ID, and now this needs to be connected with the ref to the suppliers table, and I say done and save it. So I did that for the supplier, and then at the end I need to do product ID column, clear the show and search checkboxes. Okay, I actually don't want to show these product IDs, right? They look bad in the UI. So I'm just going to disable the product ID and also disable their search functionality as well. That's what it is trying to tell us. So this is now gone. And now whenever I am creating a new product, right? Whenever I am creating a new product, there is no product ID. But in the background, in the backend database for the product, there will still be some product IDs. Okay, so I'm back in the table and let's see what is next. This tab prevents the display of the search key. Yeah, that's fine in the product table. Now change the type of the column, that is lead time days to number. Okay, so this is lead time day and it says right now in decimal, and I don't want it to like have the values like 2.3, 2.4. So that's why I'm gonna change this decimal to number. Okay. When I change this decimal to number, the decimal precision will go away because number does not have the precision value. It's just a straight value. And it's done. Now it says the change the type of the column, current inventory to number as well. So current inventory cannot be in decimal. That's what it is telling. So it's more like keeping decimal with zero precision. So instead of doing this, I can just define it as number quickly, but these both visually represents the same concepts. But for the data type integrity, it's always best to use numbers. Okay. Now the next thing is update the column configurations of the shipping and receiving. Okay, let's do that. Now in the AppSheet UI, in the shipping table, it's telling me to do something. So let's go to the shipping table. And in the shipping table, for the product ID, it needs to be referenced to the product. That is exactly. And now let me show you what happens at that time. So right now, if I show you the product has nothing, no sub table inside it. Okay, let's see the magic. As soon as I mark product ID as the wrap to product, right, in the shipping, okay, Right at that time, this is the reference. Okay. But if I show in the products table, there are only 13 columns. But as soon as I hit save button, now I see related shippings, a virtual column created on the products. Okay. So when whatever are the shippings which are connected with that product ID, they have been added as a list into this shipping table. And on the UI, they are being presented as a table. And the view we see here is technically the inline view on the specific shipping table. So that is the beauty of AppSheet. AppSheet does a lot of things based upon its instinct and the automation, we can say. It's more like it has the common sense that if you are connecting some table, you need to keep track that how many shippings are part of one single product. Okay. Now let's go and see product have been mapped, and let's do the second thing in the receiving also the product needs to be connected. So let's do in receiving, there are product ID, and I'm going to say ref to in the receiving. It will also go to the products, and I can go back to the products and I see there is only 14 column, and this blue pencil icon represents that it's a virtual column. Virtual column means it does not exist in the Google Sheet. See, it does not exist in the Google Sheet. In Google Sheet, the last column is total shipped only. But after total shift, there are two virtual columns created, and these are both the list type, and these lists are represented as tables. Okay, we call it child tables inside the same view. Okay. And these are the inline views, and we can even control which column we want to show it here. Now let's go to the next section. Here it is telling us to do update the column configurations of the supplier tables. Okay. Okay. So in the suppliers table and expanded view, supplier table is this way: clear the label checkbox of the computed names, and the label should be supplier name column instead. Okay. So in the suppliers, we see there are the supplier name column, right? And then is the first name, last name. So sometime the more clever someone is, it may cause some problem as well. So right now the problem is in the supplier we are storing their first name, right? Their last name, and what AppSheet is trying to create. AppSheet has created this virtual column here named computed name, and this is ultimately just concatenating. Concatenating means just summing up the text, and I can even show you that what it does. So this formula, when I click on test, it's going to show me what is its evaluation. So this was the first name, this was the last name. So it's just like the combination of these names. So that's what concatenations mean. Okay, concatenate function is doing. Okay, so what it is trying to tell that the cleverness which AppSheet has shown, we actually don't want it as label. Okay, so that's fine for us. And it's telling us to remove the label from the computed name and try to set it on supplier names. And we did that already. Let's save it. Now the task 3 is there, which is customize the app views. The inventory manager app is live and we need to customize the app views. We need to create a new views, and views are part of the UX tab. So this is the UX icon, and in UX user experience, there are two sections. One is the view, how data is represented, and the second one is format rule, how the colors of these text and icons are displayed. I would like to click. So when I hit the click, that will go by default to the views as well, or even I can hover or click on views. Both are the same way. I need to create a new view, and here is the configuration of the view. So I can pick some AI generated suggestions as well, but I always prefer creating my new view with my own names as well, right? So the name will be categories. And now let's see. It should pick data from the product categories, this one, and then it should be a gallery view. So it should be this. And then from the gallery view, the position should be first. So the position first means it will be on the left hand side. It's by default in the first, but still I will pick it first. So if I say next, then it will be in the next position, because we are using five position window here. Middle means it will be in the middle, later, and last. So these are the five positions we have on the primary view. And we can even put it in the menu views as well. If I say menu, and ref means it won't be shown anywhere. We need to open that view based upon the formula. So let's put it back based upon the requirement, which is first. Okay. So now the app preview now displays the data from the product in the categories. Yeah, exactly. It's showing me a good looking UI instead of the default created UI for product categories, right? So now create a shipping and receiving views as well. So it's telling me to create one more view. So I'm just going to wrap it out because I don't want that product category view. So I just need the category view. Let's create the second view, which is it's asking. That is going to be the shipping view. Okay. So let's do shipping, and it will be picking the data from shipping, and then it will be a table view, and then uh, the position will be ref. Okay, so reference views are categorized under the reference views, and then there are some system generated views as well. Okay, that's good. Then what we need to do, we can click save. Good. The next view we are creating is for receiving. Okay. So I hit the create new view, and I'm gonna name it receiving and pick receiving as its data. It's again a table view, and after the table view, it's again a reference. So after the reference, I'll go to create dashboard view. Okay, so now I need to create a dashboard view as well. So the beauty of dashboard views is like whenever I open it in preview, or even I can open it in preview, live preview also, right? So when I open this app in the desktop view, and I can see that the navigation bar at the bottom, they are being represented on the side navigation bar, right? On the same order, first, second, next, middle, last, right? So these order. Then the rep views are not being displayed, but we need one dashboard view where we can show receiving, and the second one is the shipping and receiving both on one single view, left and right, right? So that's why we are going to create a dashboard view. So let's create a new view, and I'm gonna call this newly created view as dashboard. Oh, sorry, the view name should be this. Okay, so let's call it the way it wants it to have. So right now the this table data formatter is not needed when I click on dashboard. See, that's gone. And when I say it's a dashboard view, now it is waiting for a sub views that in this particular dashboard view, what needs to be presented. So we need to add both. There are few things. It says that use mobile tabs. Okay, so let me show you what it means. So I need to add the receiving views and shipping views in here. Okay, so now this looks good. Why? Because it's the shipping first, and then if I scroll down, it's the receiving. But in mobile view, it does not look good because imagine when you have thousands of lines in here, so it will take you so long to reach to the receiving. So that's why it's telling us to enable the tabs on the mobile. And once I enable tabs, now it's like shipping and receiving. It's easy, right? We are still on the same view, the dashboard view, but we can use tabs in the mobile. but as I am in live preview mode right now, so I can see shipping and receiving left to right. So it's again the preview in the full screen. Great. So I can hit the save and it's done. Now going next is add a view. That's create a new view and the view name should be supply. Yeah, we haven't created supplier so far. So let's create a new view and this new view is going to be named as suppliers. Okay, suppliers and the data will be fetched from supplier and it needs to be a card view. So we have created gallery so far, but we haven't created card view, right? So let's create our first card view. So by default it has picked the card and view the option, select customize the card layout. If not selected, so the last card layout. Okay, so it's telling us to pick the last card layout so that every supplier looks like a card and the title goes to the column to show select supplier name. So on the title, we need to show the supplier name, right? So let's pick the supplier name on the title above. Then it is telling us that subtitle goes here, which means this one. Here we need supplier's contact number. Okay, supplier's phone will be there. Then on the column to show what we need to do, we need to do we need to show the location. Okay, so we have to do location on the image. Okay, so now these cars look good. And on the headers, let's show the computed name. So let's do the computed name. And I have already shown you computed name is nothing but the first name and last name combination, which is ultimately more or less similar to the supplier name as well. Okay. No, supplier name was a little different. Okay, that makes sense. Then the next one is supplier header goes here for the column to show supplier ID. Okay. So on the subheaders, we want to show supplier ID as well. So now the card looks good. I can hit save button. Now it says delete the default map view. There is one map view default created. And let me see where is that. It's created for in the primary navigation tab under the map view. And this is the delete. AppSheet defaults create the view type map based upon the data in the table used for the app because you created a separate supplier view. You do not need. Okay, so what it is telling that a supplier would have created a map view, but it have not created, so no need to delete anything. So now we are here in the task 4 where we need to do using formulas and expressions. Okay, let's use formulas and expressions. It says create a spreadsheet formula. Okay, it's telling us to do spreadsheet formula. And in the spreadsheet formula, on the data in products, it is like in open the Google Sheets first in the products. That's what it's telling. And then it is telling me to add a column, insert one column towards the right after the price total shipped. Okay. So in products, I see everything is there. Yeah, there is price as well. There is already price where it wants. Select the price column in the sheet. To add a new column in the sheets, there is already. Okay, my mistake. So there is a price column and we need to add tax next to the price. Okay, so that's why it my mistake. Tax. And the beauty of this quick lab session is that it only picks data from the Google Sheets. That's why it's asking me to make sure that it's in F2. And on the F2, I need to do, which is going to be E2 multiplied by, it's like 5% tax. So which is going to be 0.05 mathematically. Okay, so I'll hit Command enter to autofill it to the bottom. Now the beauty is whenever AppSheet is going to create a new row in here, it won't be able to recognize that what formula needs to be passed on here, right? So, and the second thing is we have introduced a new column. So whenever I am in here and I hit sync button, it won't work. It will give me an error. Why? Because there are a mismatch in the app definition and the Google Sheets database. Okay, so I will come back to the products and I see price. The column 7 is not text. So I'll hit this regenerate schema. And once I am doing this regenerate schema, AppSheet is doing its heavy lifting. It's trying to refresh. It's trying to understand the new column was created, the data type of it, and it's going to say that editable should be off. Why editable should be off? Because it has automatically picked its auto compute value based upon a spreadsheet formula in RC definitions. So RC definitions means it's telling me that row column definitions -1 multiplied by 0.005, which means whenever a new value needs to be added to this position, it will pick the value from one column to the left. Whatever is there, it will multiply that with 0.05. So that's exactly what's going on with this particular formula. So these formulas are presented in the terms of a normal visual users. But while we are automating things, we don't we should be representing formula in R1C1 definitions. So that's why it's the RC definition of the same formula. It's exactly so AppSheet has picked it up. We have just clicked the regenerate button. Okay, so now, yeah, it's just technically saying us to regenerate the schema, and we know that. Now let's test the formula. Okay, so now let's come in here, and it might be telling us to create a new product, more or less, or it might be telling us to create. It's like update the price of the product in the app and click save. Okay, so I'm here on the product. So what I did was I have updated all these taxes. So let me remove one from here and let me find out the same product name I wanted. And I am back here. Okay, and let's see where the products were. And the beauty is I can just do slash to search. I'm here in the product and there is no tax right now. Yeah, there is no tax. But now if I click on edit and it's now picking up the values. Okay. And let me do a little change somewhere, maybe product name. I'm adding underscore and hitting save. And once I hit the save, let's see what happens to this particular value. Okay. So right now the tax values remains blank. And let me see what's going on. Oh, it did not go through. Yes, it went. I added this. Okay, okay. Don't worry. We'll just do a new product testing. Product category we can pick from drop down. We can add 34. We can add minimum inventory quantity as 10 and shipment quantity as 2. Okay. In the bundle of 2, we have in supplier. We can also pick, let's do this one. And I need an image also. I don't want to embarrass myself. So I'm using an image and save. Okay. That's done. So now let's see how it look like. So let's see. Now, when I have uploaded this image went uploaded, and the text was calculated, and that R1C1 definitions was converted to the normal column reference formula definitions in spreadsheet, and just calculating it well. See, it's picking it up. Okay, so for now, I'm just picking it here, and that's it. Now let me go back and see what's going on. It says in the app preview, select any of the product in the views. The text column in the app is not editable. Yes, exactly. We have verified that editable went off and it's done. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, this one is done. And when the progress is done, but it has not given me the points. Let's see, create app. Price and tax column are updated. We updated it. Yeah, we received our 20 points, 25 points. Okay. Now we have got 50 points and let's head forward. Before I move forward, let's just check how much time we still have left. It's 48 minutes. 48 minutes are enough. Okay. So we are somewhere here. Okay. Now let's see use app formulas. So right now we have just used the spreadsheet formulas, but we haven't used app formulas. So let's use app formulas, the app sheets built-in calculation engine. Okay. Let's see in products, it's telling us to do a new virtual column and the virtual column should be named as total price. Okay. And the total price should be calculated as price plus tax. Okay. So the concept of virtual column is quite simple. Virtual columns are those columns which are present virtually in the app sheet table, not in the Google spreadsheet or any other database we are using. In the products, we can add a new virtual column from this add. So I'm adding this new virtual column, and as per app sheet, I need to define it. As per the documentation or lab sessions, I need to define it as total price, which is going to be price times, times price plus the tax. Okay. So I'm using column definitions so that I pick the column values. So it's now going to pick for each row price into text. And as a habit, whenever you add some expression, you hit the test button and you will be able to see, yes, exactly. It's adding the price 6 plus 0.30. That's great. I can hit save button and there is nothing else I need to do in it. Yeah, exactly. So I can hit this done and save. So in the preview, I will be able to see the definition of total, yeah, price, which is 19.95, a sum of the price plus the tax. That looks awesome. Now set the initial value for the column. So in the initial value for the column, it is like an initial value expression is used to assign an initial or default values for the column when a new entry is created with a. Okay, so let's add an initial value to the product ID, which should be the unique ID built in AppSheet function. Okay, expression assistant tags. Okay, so it's like find the expression where it's concatenating these both, and it's like product name and concat unique ID. Why it's doing that? Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, so in the products, it was previously doing a random ID in the front and the name of the product in the back. But now we do not need it, and it's telling us to have edit extras to concatenate. Okay, what it was previously doing, it was picking unique ID previously, and unique IDs are like this, but what it is trying to do is we need to use this expression, which is a combination of this one plus the unique ID. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, we don't mind doing it. So let's come to the product ID, and it was previously unique ID, but we need this expression and we are going to test how does it look like. It's like the name and then followed by that unique ID. It looks in my day-to-day life, while building the production applications for the client, I won't be using it any like I don't like that kind of IDs. Let's save it because that's not the best practices. Using timestamp as the ID and IDs like this is not a best practice we usually follow. Okay. Add a new product by the app. Okay, let's try adding a new product. I'm gonna sync first. It's a preview, so no need to sync as well. Now let's try adding a new product. It's like new after ID. Uh, uh, Image is needed. So let's pick an image first, and let's do pricing. Let's do 36. Let's pick an image. I'm gonna pick this image right now, and minimum value is 10. Shipment value is 1 only, and supplier we can add and save it. And let's see what's happened. So right now, a new row is created with the name of that product along with this dash. So the best practice I follow is never ever have the spaces in the ID, but that's what it wants. So that's why I added it. Now let's do what next we need to do. Test the initial value configurations created previously. We have tested it. To download the product image, click on the following link to save the file to your computer. How it's telling us to open this particular image, and we need to save this image to our computer picture frame, and now close it. Now it's telling us in the app preview add a new product, and yeah, so what we need to do, we need to do add a new product. Okay, add a new product, and the product name should be picture frames, and product category will be home and decor, and the product image is going to be the one we have just downloaded, and right after that price value will be 5, followed by lead time should be 2, followed by minimum acceptance inventory 10, followed by shipment quantity 1, and supply should be kitchen sauce. And we know that total price. The beauty of the virtual column calculations is that it is live, whereas the text is also a calculated field, but that is powered by spreadsheet calculations. So spreadsheet calculations can only occur when we hit the save. It goes through the Google Sheets, and then Google Sheet evaluates that value, and then it returns back to the newly created product item, which is frame. So it takes time to reflect back on the screen. So that's why I never ever use spreadsheet formula in that. Okay, it's done. So we have seen, and let's check for the validate the initial values after the app has updated. Navigate to the products worksheet and picture frames. Okay, so picture frame is already there, and I can see the picture frame here. So let's check our progress. Yes, so we got the point. So there is a bug in the system, so that's why I need to do it twice here as well as on top. Now we have only left with the fifth task, which is use AppSheet column types. Okay, let's do AppSheet column type and change timestamps. Okay, so in the products worksheet, we need to add a new column that's price updated. Okay, so we need to regenerate the schema based upon the price updated. Okay. So what is this telling? In the product table, we want to keep track when exactly the product price were updated. So that's why we are adding this column. And as I have updated the column in the spreadsheet, I have to make sure I regenerate the schema. Otherwise, it's going to cause problem, and I won't be able to configure that column as well. So that's why I need to come back to the products, and I hit regenerate schema. And the table schema is being regenerated, and I see the price updated now. The price updated by default have picked price because AppSheet runs some like some common sense in the background. So that's why it says picked it as price, because there was price in its name. But we actually don't want it as a price. We would like to use it to track the time, that when date and time when the price was updated. So that is a column type called change timestamp. So it's the change timestamp. And in this change timestamp, what we are going to do in the change timestamp, we are going to use we are going to use now as a function. That's what I believe. But let's see. In the type under, okay, so it's the change timestamp, and it says what is the column we want to change. So it's like we want to track, we want to track, we want to track price. Yeah, that's it, and specify the value that triggers a change. So value won't be triggering it. Any value will be triggering it, right? So that's why it will, I'll keep only price in here. Okay, so it says like reason wait again. I did the change type, and the column I have already picked type details. Okay. In the columns, I have set the price and I will hit done. Okay, so now let's see what is happening when we change the price from something like 5 to, let's say, 6. Okay, so it is like current inventory. This entry is invalid. Yeah, because inventory is 0 and we need to do some stuff. So inventory, I don't know where to add inventory as of now, but that's why I'm gonna edit this specific value. Let's edit this. And I know the price should be 27, and you will see the problem with this formula. It's like calculated by spreadsheet 1.35, and now I change it from 27 to 30. Okay, so once I change it to 30, it's still, the tax is still 1.35, whereas the virtual column got updated to 31.35, and if I reduce it to 25, it won't change, right? Whereas it changed. So that's the beauty of virtual columns and AppSheet calculation engine, the formula editor. Now I hit the save button and I'll see how it's getting reflected on the database. See, it got reflected and it's updated from 27 to 25. That is the beauty. And we did the changes. So now let's do content column types, contains values that are shown on many lines. It's like image and thumbnails are two examples of the content types, content column types. Okay, to use a file PDF in your app, use a file column types. Okay, navigate to the products worksheet on your browser, and we need to add a new column that's called data sheet. Okay, so if I go to the table, it's telling me to add a data sheet new column. And as I know that after adding the column, I need to regenerate my table. That is for sure. That is the basic that's the basics of AppSheet, because AppSheet is just the engine. It's picking up the database as our Google Sheet. So I see the data sheet, but data sheet is right now just a column, just a text. But we don't want it as a text. We want to upload PDF here. So that's why I'm going to change the type to file. And in the file, it will be saved, and once it is done, yeah, so once it is done, I'm gonna do one thing, which is like testing with the PDF. So I can now upload any PDF here. So I don't have any PDF files as of now, which I can attach, right? Yeah, there is this PDF, so I'm gonna connect it. Let's save it. Okay, so now a new PDF file was uploaded to the system, and once the PDF file is uploaded, it has given me back the PDF file to the system. Okay, and it have been also added as file here. Now the next thing we need to do is test the file content column type. To download a sample file PDF, go to product data sheets sample PDF, follow the link. This, oh, it is giving me a file which needs to be uploaded. Okay, so let's just download it, and then what it's telling me to do. Go in the edit form, scroll to the datasheet field and upload those files. I've already tested it, but let me pick any other thing as well, and all or something. And I'm gonna pick that newly downloaded file and save it. Good. So then the next thing is use the signature content column types. Okay. So in the receiving, what we need to do, in the receiving, there needs to be a signature column, and we do not have member signatures. Okay. So we have to add member signatures in here. Okay. So I'll go to shipping. It needs to be in receivings. My mistake. In receiving, I'm adding member signatures and I regenerate it. And once I regenerate it, so right now, if I show you the receiving form, yeah, this one. So it has only a few tasks, but now it has the member signatures as well because I have created one and it has picked the signatures and set the type as signature also. So that's the beauty of AppSheet. Now I do signatures. It's pretty bad. Let me do my signature. I won't be able to do it with mouse anyway. That's fine. This is my signature now. Okay. And I can say some dummy entries. I'll do product, I'll do transaction ID and save it. Ah, that's done. So let's see what's happening. Yeah, done. Done. And now let me check the status for the final. Yes, we have got 100 out of 100. That's great. Now, even if I skip the task 6 also, I've anyway got 100, right? So now let's see. Okay, we just need to practice the slices as well. So let's try practicing the slices as well. So slices are more like a virtual table. So it will be a filtered view based out of these product lists. Okay, so let's see. So on the products, we can use this little plus button to add a slice, and it will be added just below it, based upon the expression. So I'll say that okay, and it's more like creating a filtered view in Google Sheets. Okay. So what it is telling us to do, it's telling us the slice name should be low inventory. It's more like giving it a name as low inventory, right? It needs to install copy and paste. That's why it's Google's way of handling copy and paste, and they are clever so that people don't use what we say. People are not using Firefox; they are using Chrome only to run Google spreadsheets because it only works best in Chrome. And Google is clever, right? So now we say the source table should be product and slice column should be all columns. Huh? Update mode should be updates. What? Source table is product, slice column should be all columns and update. And the expression, what should be the expression? Expression is row filter conditions. Current inventory is less than the minimum expected. Okay, so it's like low inventory we are creating, right? So that's why I'm going to pick the column, the slice name as low inventory is powered by products, and we can even add some description also. But we know that we need an expression, and that expression is already known, which is like current inventory of that product should be less than the actual inventory, the minimum threshold acceptance inventory. Okay. It's like saved. We need all columns. That's what it is telling. And we need only updates in here. We don't need adds and deletes on this file. Let's save it. That is the way we have created our custom expressions, and now create a new view, that a slice for our new low inventory views, right? So let's do a view. So I'm gonna create a new view called low inventory for my low inventory slice. And I would like to show it in menu position, and it should be a deck. So deck is another way of representing the data, and it looks it has few parameters which are like summary column, main image, primary header, etc. Okay, so it's not defining what I should be setting up in summary and header. So that's fine. I'm going to save it directly. And we are already on seventh, use constraints. So before I move to the seventh, let's see what happens to that DAC view. So we have seen low inventory, and now see all the product. There were many products, but there are only few products which are low in inventory. So this is how we can handle business operations with AppSheet very well. Okay, so now heading next to the task 7, it says use constraints. In AppSheet, you can use constraints to control the display and uses of the table columns. Okay, I in this task, you create a constraint to control the visibility of columns in the product categories. Create a show if constraints. Mhm. So in product category, it's like based upon the expression, we need to show or hide something. Okay. And it should be like if is blank value or list entry is blank in the value list. Okay. Okay. So we are back in the data, we are back in the product category, and in the product category, we need this expression to be added in the product category, and it should be in the shelf, okay? Because there are few products which are not added to the shelf, so that's why we are adding an act. It's like the expression which is Ashley. I'm not sure what exactly is Ashley in the product. Ashley. So just Google it if I don't know something. It's Ashley meaning. It's a long narrow process. Okay, so it's more like the row where it's like it's stacked, something like that. Ashley meaning in inventory. Ah, it's more like the rack row number of that. Okay, long passes between the row and stores. That's fine. Okay, so what it says that if Ashley is not blank, then don't even show whatever is on the shelf, right? So this one is done. So I can even show you here on the product category. So these are all the product categories, right? So on this particular product, it's getting confusing, right? So let me just open a category so it becomes easy for you. In this category, I can still see the shelf, right? But the Ashley is there. Now, if there is no Ashley, so it's required value, right? So how do I hide it? So I'm just going to come on the product category, and I'm gonna hide the value which I need for 1s. 1s. I'm gonna hide the value. So now once I hide this value, so only that value should have been hidden, right? But it is hiding this both. But as soon as I say something in here, it's showing the second value as well. So that these are the constraints like valid if, show if. So right now we have used show if, but we can use valid if as well. So this valid if is like uh, actually, column is numeric and data validity should be based upon expression, which is like this value should always be greater than 0 and less than 51. So I can use that, but then I can show you that there is a clever or UI user-friendly way of doing the same. So I can come in here, I can use data validity, I can use data validity. And in the data validity, I'm adding this expression, which is 0 to 51. And once I save it, and as soon as it gets saved, and once I try to do, okay, it's telling me to have the expression valid if expression as well. So right now, if I show you that in the data validity 1, 2, 3, all values are allowed, but as soon as I go more than 50, it's going to say error. See, this entry is invalid. But it's not user friendly, right? That what exactly was the error? So that's why we can use this value expressions and we can enter that value here, which we need to define. So now let's save it. And once it is saved, and now if I try adding that 1 through 3, so now it's giving me a message as well for the control. The beauty of data validity is this. But for the simple data validations like this on a number, I don't recommend using an expressions. Why? Because in UI, there is already a way to set the minimum value as 0 and maximum value as 50. So if these two values are used, and even though if I remove this specific expressions from the list, it's still going to work. That's what I believe. So let's test it. Okay. So now let's see. 1 is working, 2 is working. Let's try -1. See, it's working. Let's try 200 and something. And see, it's still working. And let's try under 45 or under 50. It's working. So that's why I say that for a simple formulas like this, and not even use the formula, just use UI to control it. We have, yeah, we have completed almost everything, right? Uh, there is last thing, which is like click holiday product. Where is holiday product categories? Okay, so it's telling us to go to holiday product categories, right? And in the holiday product categories, it should be 81. It's just telling us to test it. So in the holiday category, we are going to enter 51. It's going to give us that error, right? And yeah, that's it. Congratulations. You and the lab. Yeah. So we are satisfied with it. We are going to give 5-star rating to the system. And let's see how much time we have still left. We still have 20 more minutes. Oh, wow. So I can just close this. We can even sign out, or even we can just close the tabs. And these both are fine. So I'm just going to close the tabs and we are back in the dashboard. And I'm just going to click on the end lab. So I'm forcefully ending this lab. Otherwise, it would have automatically completed. So additional comments is it is already already awesome. My dear AppSheet, Google Cloud, and the lab team. Okay, submit. And yeah, that was it about this particular lab session. I would have received an email regarding this 100% completions in a while. Okay, so that's it for today. I'll see you next time with next lab session or any other kind of live development session if you want on an app sheet. Okay, so let's try to cover up this quiz, but I don't have that long time. Let's try to do it. What step must be taken when designing the data for your app? Select three. Determine the relationship between the tables in your app. Yes. Determine how the data in the table should be displayed in your app. Okay, determine the tables to use and the column structures that will store data in each table. Determine the key column that will provide identity. So I think these are all fine. We can even remove this one because how should we display it is not that important. But let's see. And technically, in the best practices, these all should be right, but I don't know how they have programmed it. So they might be waiting for me to select it or unselect it, right? So what are some characteristics of the app column formulas and initial value expression in AppSheet? Select three. The initial value expression of the table column is not recomputed. Exactly, it's not recomputed. The app user can edit value of the table column that has an app column formula defined. Exactly. An app user can edit a table column value with an initial value expression. Yes. And an app column formula is used to update the view with a value in the table column whenever a change is made to the table's data table via the form. It's not like that because it's not updated always. It's not the app formula. I believe they are only asking for the initial formula, column formulas and initial values. Okay, the app users can edit the value of the table column that has an app formula defined values. It's the opposite. What is the slices in AppSheet? It's a virtual table, right? It's a subset of the column. No, it's a subset of the rows of the tables that use it's the rows and the columns. Exactly, this one. A key is a column. The key is like it's like a key column whose values provide a unique identity to each row in the table. What type of keys are used in table in AppSheet? It's like artificial keys, which are defined by us, row number keys, and row number is also used as keys sometimes. And system generated keys are also used. And I don't know what are natural keys. I don't know that. Okay. What are some AppSheet data types available for you to use in your app? Okay. So change timestamp we have used, address we have used, name we have used, price we have used. GPS is not a column type. It should be named as lat long if they want to be right. So we have got only 60% score. Why? Because see, that was I was telling that I need to remove it, but still I kept it. That's fine. The second one which went wrong is artificial keys. It's like to credit for a multiple select questions, you must select all the correct options and none of them should be incorrect. So that's pretty hard to maintain. Let's do it once again. Slice is this one. What are the some characteristics? An app user can edit the value of the table column that has an app formula defined that defines it's not this, it's like these three. And here I don't need artificial, that I know what natural key system generated and row values are allowed. Row number keys. I'm not sure about this answer, but let it be. Address, name, price, and change stamps are there. Determine how the data in the table should be displayed in the app. Yes. and the views should not be determine the relationship between the tables in data. Determine the relationship between the tables. Determine the key column that will provide uniqueness. That will determine the tables to be used as and column structures that will store data in each table. Yes, let's try submitting it. Wow, we are getting 100% now. That's great. That's massive. Yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next session. Okay, have a great day. Congratulations on completing this on using data in AppSheet. Let's do a quick review. In this module, you learn about data entities and how to organize the data in our app. You learn about the various data types, systems, and sheets,